Welcome back. Political panel time. Let's bring them in. Republican strategist, former Romney Ryan senior advisor Kevin Sheridan, Democratic strategist, CBS News political contributor Joel Payne. Gentlemen, just moments ago, Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis released a statement. He spoke by phone with President Trump, called the conversation something that he appreciated. Some federal agents, as we reported earlier in this program, will begin leaving the area tomorrow. He said he plans to meet with Border Czar Tom Homan to further discuss next steps. Kevin, your reaction. This is now 2 phone calls, Governor Walz and the mayor of Minneapolis, who the administration outwardly says are the problem here, but clearly the president is engaging. What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me that I'd be interested to see if he gets any concessions out of the mayor and the governor in terms of local PD support, because right now they've been pulled back, and that's the whole reason why Border Patrol was even in Minneapolis. They shouldn't be there. They should
not be there.
They're doing crowd control.
That's what you say.
Yeah, well, they're doing, I don't think they want to be there necessarily. The local police should be doing this. If he has to send in the National Guard, he should do that. He did that in L.A. He could do it again.
But meaning the president, not the governor.
Well, yeah, and the governor has already called them in. We don't know what they're even doing, but clearly they need to get control over these crowds. This is not a, this is a very well-funded, very connected operation that's going on there. These are not just random protests. These people are coordinating. They're on signal, and they are trying to
Is coordination an offense in America under the judicial code?
Impede, yeah, it sure is, to impede a lawful law enforcement action, which is what these ICE agents and Border Patrol guys were doing. They were going after criminal illegal. 70% of their arrests in Minnesota have been criminals with a criminal history. So 30% have not. But that's what they're going for, and it's a dangerous situation for everybody to be in without support.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that Kevin would have that take. You know, been thinking a lot about this, and look, obviously, like morally, this is a president who's morally bankrupt, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. This is an administration. This is a regime that's morally bankrupt. But you're here for my political opinion. My political opinion is you're seeing a pretty significant climb down from this president. You're seeing a pretty significant retreat from this president and from the people around him. Not only the call to Walz and Frey today, Caroline Leavitt at the briefing today essentially threw Stephen Miller under the bus for calling this man who was killed by Donald Trump's immigration force a domestic terrorist. She did not own that statement. She backed the president off of that statement. You've had Tom Homan go into the area. Greg Bovino is leaving the area. I think it's a tacit acknowledgement that this has gone beyond too far, and that the president understands the political damage is real here. I think the question is the stain permanent? I think it is permanent, and I think it's something that every Republican who runs behind this administration will have to own at least through 2026 and probably beyond.
Gentlemen, I want to play for you sound from Chris Mattel, who ended his Republican bid for the governorship of Minnesota today. By the way, just for the audience's benefit, Chris Mattel is an attorney in Minnesota. He provided advice to the Border Patrol agent who killed Renee Good on how to obtain proper defense counsel should there be any investigation. So he is not a softie on this issue. I want you to listen, both of you, to what he said today about what's gone on in Minneapolis.
And I have read about and I have spoken to countless United States citizens who have been detained in Minnesota due to the color of their skin. I personally have spoken to several law enforcement officers, some Hispanic and some Asian, who have been pulled over by ICE on pretextual stops. Driving while Hispanic is not a crime. Either is driving while Asian. And the reality is that the National Republicans have made it nearly impossible for a Republican to win a statewide election in Minnesota. It is a simple fact.
Kevin.
I don't know a lot about him. I know he was Kirby Puckett's attorney. I don't.
Well, what he's saying
I don't know.
ought to matter to any American, right?
Clearly he has strong feelings on this, and
driving while Hispanic, driving while Asian is not crime.
The race, but is he leaving the party? Is he saying that he's not going to be a Republican anymore? I don't know. But there's a lot of other Republicans running in that race, and somebody's going to.
Surprising. So you feel good about this politically?
No,
I'm shocked.
No, I just don't. I'm not where you are on this. I don't think that. Look, this is a very ugly, complicated situation, and it's been made uglier and more complicated because the Minneapolis PD have been pulled back And they
The
are
same
not,
PD that's
they're
actually
not
being
supporting-
profiled by
they're
Donald
not-
Trump's ICE.
They're not supporting the
Those
ICE agents
folks.
who are arresting criminals. These are
Yeah.
criminal illegals that are in the country. That's who they're going after.
Joel,
it's a
you got-
dangerous
you got
situation.
15 seconds.
Why would this is going to take more than 15 seconds? I guess I would just say I'm very surprised that Republicans would lean into this politically. I think it's a mistake. I think they're going to regret it.
Kevin Sheridan, Joel Payne, that's it.